Hello, I'm Kabalamat and welcome to episode 26 of Rule the Waves 2 Let's Play Japan. Looking at the international situation, we're still at war with Britain, and it looks like Russia might be edging towards entering the war, which would not be a good thing. We'd like to finish off the British first. Now, we're attempting to invade Hong Kong, and we recently won a battle against the British off Hong Kong. Let's have a look at the fleet strengths. So in Northeast Asia, the British have got 2 battleships and 4 aircraft carriers. In Southeast Asia, they've got 3 battleships and no aircraft. Sorry, 4 battleships and no aircraft carriers. So we want, in Northeast Asia, we want to have at least 4 battleships, and we've got plenty of aircraft carriers there. Okay, we seem to be okay on both carriers and battleships in Northeast Asia and in Southeast Asia. Let's have a look at what we've got where. Northeast Asia, we've got Qingdao, Sahara, Kashmir and Katori. And we can have a look at what sort of guns they've got. That's 2 12-inch, 1 16-inch and 1 15-inch guns. They're decent ships. We've got 2 modern CVs and 1 CVL. So that's also pretty good. And we've got a few destroyers. We've got quite a lot of destroyers. Some of them are some old destroyers that are on trade protection, but we've got some fairly modern new destroyers. So we should be doing okay in Northeast Asia. Let's get rid of that. Let's do the same thing for Southeast Asia. Now in Southeast Asia we've got lots of ships, including our 2 best ships, the Mutsu and the Yamato. And we've also got 2 older ships. They're not wonderful ships, but they do help. And we've got 4 aircraft. That's quite a decent fleet as well. So I'm confident that we can head off any problems from the British. We're also building a load of destroyers, which unfortunately are going to take at least 10 moves for any of them to be built. That's unfortunate, but that's what happens. And we're also building some submarines as well, which are also, some of those are going to be finished fairly soon, but some are also going to take up to 11 moves. So that's where we are, and let's play the next move. Carrier battle. Now we've got equal numbers of battleships. They've got 4 CVLs, we've got 2 CVs and 1 CVL. Yeah, we'll fight that. That's a fleet battle. Hopefully we can beat the British again. Attack enemy ships in general. And let's see what we've got. So looking at the search pattern, it appears that the enemy are around about here somewhere. So I'm going to adjust that. They're probably not going to be more than about 400 away. And I'm going to increase the angle so that I make sure I catch them all. So that's the main search pattern. I've also got a search pattern for the scout force, which again will be short. So I'm going to shorten this down to about 300, and again that's going to be a lot wider. Okay, zooming in. Oops. This is our scout force. We've got 3 battleships here. We've got 4 aircraft carriers, sorry, 3 aircraft carriers, 2 fleet carriers and 1 light carrier here. And we've also got some, these are basically scouting cruisers as well. So let's get these ships, put those there, and these ships can be put, these destroyers can go here, and our scout force here, led by the Miyoko, can go here. And let's see what happens. And so we've got our reconnaissance aircraft all out. And do I have any reports? Yes, we do have a report. So the enemy has got 5 aircraft carriers and 1 battleship round about here somewhere, and that appears to be, let's get on to our carriers, and that appears to be about 180 nautical miles away. Can we do an airstrike? Now these have got a heavy range of 2-1-1. So I'm going to put our dive bombers on him. This is on the Shinano. And we'll give it a fighter escort. Right. Is that going to work? And let's see what the time is. We'll be dusk in 3 hours. Now they are 170 nautical miles away, so we'll never catch up with them in 3 hours. But we can do an airstrike on them. We've also got another aircraft. Let's have a look at the other aircraft carriers. That exceeds the deck load. Launch strike. Yes. Yes. Right, so now we know where we are. We can move in the vague direction towards them. And what I'm going to do for this full speed. Oh, it's on full speed already. Okay, so that's the destroyers have been separated out, and my battleship force will go straight towards the enemy. So let's see what happens. And I'm also going to get my aircraft carriers. We're also going to go straight towards the enemy. I think we may end up having to fight most of this battle the next day, but we'll see what happens. See, that's the aircraft there going towards him. He seems to have gone away. Oh well. Unknown radar contact. What's the weather like? What's the time? Dusk will be in 30 minutes. So, we have something happening here, don't we? What's my radar range? And so that's a radar range of about 25,000 yards. My sighting range is only going to be about 10,000 yards. So that's, yeah, he can only see it about 12,000 yards or so, which is not very much. It's only about 6 nautical miles. But now I think we know roughly where they are. And that's my battleships moving in, and these ships here can go there. Yeah, we seem to have spotted them, don't we? I think this must be all of his fleet. Yeah, this is a lot of them. So, yeah, he's got one battleship and one CVL at least. So, weather does not permit air launches. Well, that's a bugger. Which actually reminds me, I probably need, because the Shinano has got 3 fighter units for some reason, and so has the Taikaku. I'm going to change that. They don't need that many fighters. Well, weather doesn't permit air launches, so that's a bit of a bugger. What ships have we got here? These are the Saharin is 16 inch. That's a good ship. Qingdao is 15 inches, and Kashima is 12 inches. A bit of a crap ship, but it's one of my older ships. Anyway, so I'm not going to attack his main force with my battleships. Has been hit by a battleship already. These are going to move out of the way. Right, he seems to be milling around here. These are gonna go away again. And these ships. The Unebi's one of these old cruisers that's not really very good at anything. Okay, and what are these two? That's a Ryujo. That should really be with my other aircraft carrier. That's going to be, I'm going to make that owned by the Takakoku, and I'll make that a core. Okay, and the thing that's with that is this destroyer, which can go here, and we'll make that owned by, that can be a support, and that can be owned by my battleships. Okay, and my main aircraft carriers, these seem to be steaming fairly close to my main battle fleet, and they're escorted by 3 destroyers. They're not wonderful destroyers, but they're better than nothing. Okay. Alright, I've got a lot more, my ships are moving in, aren't they? And it seems to be night's falling. I'm not really sure whether I want a battle to fight them. Let's move these in. I think I might just attack with my destroyers. I could probably do quite a fair bit of damage with destroyers. And he seems to be going this way for some reason. Okay. These are going to go away. Alright, so what can we do here? This is a destroyer. What are these? What sort of destroyers are these? They've got 9 torpedo tubes. If they want to be attacked, they can be attacked, can't they? Formation, line abreast, and these can go in this direction. I don't know what that is. Unidentified ship. Battleships can move up. Now let's see what's going on here. Well, that's a CVL. And we've fired some torpedoes at it. We'll fire some more torpedoes at it. He seems to have 2 CVLs, 3 CVLs and a light cruiser. So my heavy cruiser is going to come in and finish off his CVLs. These destroyers are going to come in. These are FUs. These have got 9 torpedo tubes. That's good. Actually, no, they've got 10 torpedo tubes, so they could be quite lethal against them. And I'm going to, on all my forces, I'm going to switch flotilla attack on, because that makes it more likely to fire the torpedoes. So, now the enemy seems to be getting away this way. I think that must be his battleship there. I'm going to move my battleships in. His aircraft carriers are not going to be no match for my battleships. Let's have a look at this destroyer that's with my battleship. So that's in a roll of screen. Well, that should be fine. That's a CVL, and that's a light cruiser. And he's got some ships up here. I don't want these ships to get away, so these are my cruisers. These are destroyers. This is another destroyer, and that can go down here. He's got a CVL here, and I need to see what the other thing is. Let's see what's going on here. That seems to be, yeah, they're both CVLs. So why is he not firing his torpedoes? He needs to fire his torpedoes at them. Fire torpedoes, yay. CVL, yes. Friendly ship in line of fire. Well, where's the fucking friendly ship? There isn't one. That's ridiculous. He's got a CL there as well, and that's his aircraft carrier. Enemy ship hit by torpedo, probably one of these, I would guess. And this is a CVL. His light cruiser will be no match for my 3 battleships and heavy cruiser. In fact, it seems to be dead in the water. Unidentified ship on fire. Are my battleships firing? 15 hits. Well, that's going to destroy pretty much anything that it hits. There's no way that a light cruiser or an aircraft carrier is going to be able to survive that. So that appears to be stationary in the water now. Right, so what we've got is we've got this CVL here, this, which I think is either CVL light cruise, and then there's these ships here. So I'm going to destroy this one first, and then I'm going to concentrate on those. So that's just a light cruiser. These two can go down this way. These can concentrate on this CVL, I think. This ship down here can start going upwards towards the CVL. Yeah, I think that those ships are going to be quite badly damaged. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this Myoko, and I'll have these destroyers. Can I make them? Yeah, they can support the. I'll make them support the Myoko, and these can go around grabbing all of his crappy old ships. That's going to go down to cruise speed. Actually, I'll put that down to 12 knots. So this is going to go around these old ships that they're wounded, but they haven't been completely destroyed yet. And all these ships are going to move towards their CVL. My battleships are going to move up here to grab this thing. And this ship here is probably quite badly damaged, so what I'm going to do is I'll just move this little destroyer right next to it, and all these ships are going to attack it in passing. That's probably dead. And we seem to have caught these. This is probably a CVL and possibly a battleship as well. Yeah, so this CVL is moving, which means that it's not badly damaged. These ships are all quite badly damaged, I think. So that's now sunk. This can go down here. Let's have a look what's happening with these ships down here. See, that's quite badly damaged, isn't it? Heavy damage on fire. Okay. I'm putting these down to 12 knots so that they've got a longer time to pass them. So all these destroyers and these two cruisers are going to attack this ship here. Let's see how my cruisers are doing. The Toyota, that scored 9 8-inch hits, no 5-inch hits, and no 3-inch hits. Okay, well, what we're going to do with that is that's going to go right next to it, and we're going to slow all these down so that they're only doing 3 knots, and they're just going to pour round after round after round into it. This is continuing to go down here. Now we've got the enemy is round here somewhere, so I need to concentrate on this battle. And these are going to go down there. These are working on here, and these destroyers are going to cut off these ships here. Khedive class is hit by a torpedo. That's probably that one down there. Alright, so that's 2 CVLs and something else. That one's got, the Fu 6 has got 4 more torpedoes that it can fire. Right, and these are all been destroyed, so these can go up here. And these ships all look like the enemy's been destroyed quite comprehensively here, so I'm not going to waste more ammunition on it. All these ships are just going to go. Up here for this fight here. And he's got a Glorious, which is a battle cruiser. Well, that's good, because that gives me an opportunity to use my battleships on it. and this destroyer needs. This is another FU, so that's gonna. I think I'll attack the Glorious with that. I've got to watch out because it says it's actually quite a good battleship, but given the preponderance of force, I should be able to beat it. In fact, these are going to go. They're just going to turn together and go this way. How are my other ships getting on? They all seem to be. These are my aircraft carriers. They can go up this way. I don't know what this is. This is an ISO 160. That's just doing silly. Right. This is that's a light aircraft carrier. Okay, so we'll just carry on then. So he seems to have gone down there. And we'll put these in line ahead. What's this ship doing? That's sinking, okay. There's my aircraft carrier. This aircraft carrier up this way. And in terms of time, we're 10 hours from dawn, so dawn is still some time away. See, all these ships are moving up towards the enemy, so they're not going to get away. In fact, we have more destroyers, and these destroyers can be. I'm going to attach my destroyers to the Saharan, which is the battleship, and these can go this way somewhere. So it's just more forces are going to be employed finding the enemy and destroying him. Seems to be overhauling him, don't they? Night battles are so much easier to fight when you've got radar because you can actually see what you're doing. Right. Enemy ship hit by torpedo, that's his battleship. That'll slow it down a bit. I think that's the battleship and that's the two aircraft carriers. So now those aircraft carriers are probably both effectively sunk. They will have had so many rounds put into them that, you know, when you've got, they've probably got about 10 or 20 16-inch rounds into them, so they're not going to last any longer. I'm going to put this light cruiser onto them just to make sure. Even if some of these destroyers don't have many torpedoes left, they're still useful to find out where the enemy are. Now the Myoku, not happy about this engaging his ship directly, but these two destroyers can. Looks like that's the Avenger. It's going to be hit by a torpedo. Got these two light cruisers. Britain has no ships left at sea. So he had 1 battle cruiser and 5 light aircraft carriers and one CL. So let's see what his Courageous was hit by. 4 torpedoes, 1 medium hit. That's not a vast amount of hits. My ships would probably have lasted that, because 4 torpedoes, if you're a big ship and you've got the top torpedo protection, that ought to be survivable, and only 1 heavy hit. Okay, let's have a look at his other ships. So this was hit by 20 heavy shells, 17, 23, and that was hit by 3 torpedoes, lots of medium shots with that one, 2 torpedoes, that was 6 heavy shots. Which ships of mine, if any, were sunk? The Myoko was sinking, that was hit by 20 heavy shells from his battleship, and 2 destroyers and another destroyer. So that's okay, that's good. And in terms of air losses, we lost 18 losses, 0 to AA fire, 1 to air to air. Okay, I'm going to have a look at the air details, see if my airstrikes did any good. This is these ones here, isn't it? So it's these 3. So do I have any bomb hits or torpedo hits? No, because I didn't actually hit anything. But nor did he hit any of mine. So that's good. That's a good victory. Sunk loads of his big ships. Leave scenario. Medium AA gun has been fixed. Well, that's good. The army wants more resources to prepare for an offensive. Yes, they can have the resources. 2-phase search. Our troops have invaded Hong Kong. Excellent. And we're winning the trade warfare thing. We've sunk 11 merchant ships and then 7 with our raiders. Right, so let's see what's happening. In terms of what we've sunk of the British now, we've sunk 8 battleships and 13 aircraft carriers. So that's a pretty big amount. If you look at how much the British have got left, they've only got 7 battleships left, and they don't have any aircraft carriers at all because we've sunk a lot of them. And that's all for episode 26. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all on the next episode.